Welcome back, game design students. In this video, I'm going to show you how to put materials and textures on objects in your game. So there are a number of things you can do. You could go to textures.com to find all sorts of different textures. I searched for floor tile here, and I found this plain floor tile. This is the one I used previously. And if you click this, you can see that this is a substance material. And you have to have 100 credits to get the compiled material, but we really don't need that. All we need are the highest res components that we can get. For our textures in Unreal, I would get the albedo, the normal, the roughness, and the ambient occlusion. I never really used this one very much. And when you click this, I have my Chrome set up to ask me where I want to put them. Where you put them for this purpose really doesn't matter. But these are in the Maya project that I used to work this out before I made the video. So here they are right here. You could also use something called Quixel Bridge. I know some of you are familiar with the Quixel website that is owned by Epic Games. And in order to see if you can use that or not, you need to go to Window and find Quixel Bridge right here. If you are set up to open it, it should just open up. And it will ask you to sign in if you're not already signed in. I am, so you sign in with your Epic Games account. Now, if you get an error, it's probably going to tell you that the web plugin is not enabled. To enable the web plugin, you go to Edit, Plugins, and you search Web. And here it is right here. The web browser plugin needs to be enabled. So you would click that, and then you would get a message to restart, and then it would restart, and you simply close the plugins editor, and then we can go back to the level we were working on. Now you use Quixel Bridge much the same way. It's a tab up here, and you just simply search for something that you want to import. And there's just millions of things in here that you can use. I'm just going to grab this one just for fun. And when you pick one, you get a download button, which you click download. And it will download it, and then it will send it. It will give you an option to add it to your project, which you just click plus. And once it adds it, this little window pops up that tells you where it put it. Then you can switch back to your level, and in your content drawer you will see a folder called Megascans, and in there will be a folder with your material in it. And in order to use this material, all you need to do is drag it and drop it onto your object. And because we spent all that time mapping it, you can see that the bricks line up on the ends just like they're supposed to, but not so much on the top because we said that really didn't matter that much. In order to make this texture fit better, what you need to do is tile it. To tile a Quixel Megascans surface material, you double-click the material, and that brings up its material editor. I'm going to go ahead and dock that here. And under here, under Global, you should see a tiling rollout. If you click it and open it, and check the little box. Now you can tile it in the X and Y direction. So I'm going to set 2 and 2, and then I'm going to save it and go back to my scene and see if that's better. And that's probably better. Now to set up a material for the floor, we're going to use the tile material that we downloaded from textures.com. The first thing you have to do with that is import the textures. So I'm going to go back to my main content folder, and I'm going to add a folder, and I'm going to name it Textures. I'm going to open it up, and then I'll click Import and go find the textures that I downloaded. And here they are right here. Plain tile, plain tile, plain tile, plain tile. This one is wrong. Here, this is a 512. I only want the 1K ones. Here's the albedo. So I'm going to click that, hold down Control, and click all the other ones that I want to import, and click Open, and that imports them. Now to use these on the material that's already on the floor, I'm going to go to my content folder and I'm going to click the floor material, double click it, and bring it up in the editor. And I need to delete this default material here, and then I need to drag in my textures. Now to get them in here, I'm going to go to Window, and a content browser. I'm going to open up another content browser window, and that will allow me to get to my textures without having to go to the other content browser. Once I'm done, I can close that. Then I can separate these and connect them up. Now, I don't know which one's which here. I have to select it and come down here into the panel here and hover over this. This is the albedo. You can see that right there. So I'm going to connect that up. I know this is the normal, so I'm going to connect that to the normal slot. This one is the roughness, so I'm going to go ahead and connect that one to the roughness. And then this is the ambient occlusion, I'm pretty sure. Yep, I'm going to connect that to the ambient occlusion. Now I'm not done yet. There's still a couple things I have to do. I need to make sure I'm controlling the specular and the metallic here. So to do that, I'm going to drag off and type in constant. And that way I can give them a number. Now with that selected, I'm going to hit Control-C, Control-V, or Command-C, Command-V on a Mac, and connect that up. Now I can control the specular now on this object. Now if I switch back to my level, you'll see there's nothing there. That's because I have to save my changes before they will appear on the object. Notice the edges don't line up because we said we didn't care about that. Now to enable some kind of tiling on this texture, we need to go back to the material, and we need to drag off of the UV slot on one of these, and we need to type in coordinates, and we need to get a texture coordinate node. And we need to connect this node to the UV node of all of our textures. And then in order to tile this, if we click it, you can see that we have U and V tiling. So I'm going to change this to 2, save my changes, and you will see that now the texture is tiled differently. So that's how you bring your game assets into your game and set them up for export and add materials to them. And I hope you enjoyed these videos, and I'll see you in the next one.